I'll be honest, I'm not even sure I remember the last time I wrote straight up just HTML and CSS. So that's what we're trying today. Washed up Xfang developer versus a CSS battle. So if you don't know what this is, essentially it's a website where you have to write some HTML and CSS and you have to try to match some output. So this is what we have right now, and we're trying to match this output over here. And I guess technically you're trying to do it in as few characters as possible and all of that, but my goal here is just to get kind of close. Let's be honest here. All right, so what do we need to do? So first of all, let's get this blue background going. So let's just say body will have a background and the colors are over here. I think it's the lighter one, so we can copy that, paste it. Okay, so we have the background, and now let's make this like main wheel thing. So let's say we have this div here, and I'll call this the wheel. And let's come down here and say we have our wheel. Okay, why is this highlighted weird? Did I do this wrong? I think I did this right. All right, so let's say this has, let's just do for now, a width of like 10 pixels. I have no clue how big this is going to need to be. And then let's say it is going to have a background of the darker color. And let's also go height, like, I don't know, 100 pixels. Okay, so now we have that thing. And now let's make it round. So let's say we have a border radius of 50%. Now it should be round, 100%, 50%. I always forget what the difference is. Honestly, I don't remember, but we'll go with 50 for now. I guess this needs to be a perfect square though. So maybe 100 by 100, not big enough. Maybe 200 by 200 seems reasonable-ish. We need to center it also. So let's go to the body and let's just say we want to do like display, flex, justify content center, and align, not content, align items center, I believe. Height 100%. There we go. All right, so that is centered sort of, but it seems too low. Do we have some like margin or something? Margin 0? No? All right, let's come down here. Margin 0? No. Am I crazy, or is this thing not? Okay, yeah, so it looks like it's too, I think it might even be the right size, but it looks like it's too low, right? Huh? Why? All right, let's not do this. Maybe there's a better way to vertically center this. Or just, let's do, well, actually, even like that. Maybe margin, this shouldn't have any margin, right? It's just a div. Yeah, there's no way it has margin. All right, well, we'll figure that out in a minute. Let's make this hollow now. So I guess instead of a background, what we actually want this to be is a border. And let's say it's like maybe 20 pixels solid of that color. Looks like it needs to be bigger, maybe 40 pixels. All right, that seems good. And then we want this to be smaller. So let's go maybe like 150 by 150. All right, that's getting closer. This is too thick now, maybe 30 pixels. Looks about right. Sort of. Am I going, it still feels like, wait. Let's go diff. All right, so we can see in the diff that, yeah, ours is thicker, I think. I actually don't even really understand what I'm looking at. I'll be honest, I don't fully understand what this diff is. All right, so the black, I guess, is the same. So ours is a little bit lower, but down here, it's like way off. All right. So it's kind of, it's like close, but it's not. I think it's too big though. So let's go maybe 100 by 100. No, it's too small. 120, 120. This feels so close, but it's not there yet. What was that? 130, 130. This feels almost right. I think it's like not quite thick enough. I don't know. We'll get it closer. Let's work on this inner stuff, and then we'll go back to getting the circle correct. So let's say we now have another div. I guess we could put it inside of the wheel. Do I want it inside? I'm going to try and make like this horizontal line and then a vertical line, and then I'm going to make a circle in the middle. I guess it doesn't even matter. we can put it inside. All right, so let's say we have a div, and this will have an ID of HORZ for horizontal. Let's come up here, HORZ, and let's say this has a width of, we want this width essentially, so let's say 130 pixels. A height, I think it's the same as the like border of this. So let's say for now 35 pixels, make those the same. And then let's have a background that will be this color. So background, that color like that. Now we just want to move it down. So let's say position relative, and then just do top, I don't know, 20 pixels. Not enough. 30 pixels, 40 pixels, 50 pixels. All right, that seems close. It's, this is too thick for sure. So let's go down to 30. That looks better. And I think we might want to do 30 here as well. This just feels like slightly too small though. So maybe 135, 135, and then 135 here. All right, it's definitely not correct, but it's getting closer. All right, now let's do a vertical one as well. So let's just copy this, call this vert, and let's copy this as well. All right, so with vert, we want the height to be 135 pixels, and we want the width to be 30 pixels. And then we want, instead of top, let's go left like this. Let's see. Oh, I did not change the name. Vert. All right. And that's a little bit too tall, I guess. So let's go 120. 100. All right. All right. I see. So now we can make this vert, and I think we're good. Whew. All right. We fixed it, sort of. So now this, instead of top, should be left, and it just needs to be less tall. Okay. So let's go 115 maybe. 100, and we need to go top 20 pixels. All right, there we go. There's like a rounded edge right here, which is interesting. I'm not even really sure how to make that. Maybe I put another, I think what I do is I put another circle in the middle maybe to do that. We'll come back to those rounded edges because I'm not really sure how to do that. All right, now let's do the circle in the middle. So let's say we'll have a div ID equals circle, and close out that div, come down here, and let's say we have a circle. All right, so the circle, we want to be the background color, but let's first just say maybe as a width of like 20 pixels, a height. Actually, I don't even think it's that big. Let's go 10 pixels by 10 pixels, and the background will be this. So we can say background, that, and border radius 50%. It does need to be bigger, maybe 20, 20. All right. And now we need to just center this. So let's go, we could even just do like position. Let's see, if we do position relative, it's going to be kind of confusing the center. Let's actually just do position fixed. And then we can go left 50%, top 50%, 50%, and then transform, translate, negative 50%, negative 50%, 50%, like that. All right, so that makes it almost center. Why? Let's see. It's like close, but it's not actually centered. Or the wheel is not actually centered. I think it's the fact that the main wheel is not actually centered. So let's go back to that. What if instead of all this, let's get rid of all that for a second. And let's take the like big circle, which is called wheel. Where is that? Wheel down here. Let's go position, absolute, left 50%, top 50%, and let's do the same transform, not transform, translate, and negative 50%, comma, negative 50%. All right, that looks like it's actually centered now. Oh yeah, now we're kind of chilling, sort of. All right, so that's centered. I think what's actually wrong now is our vertical bar isn't centered. So let's go to vert. We've got, oh, we just did like, okay, instead of this, let's do left 50%, like that. And then we can do transform, translate x negative 50%. There we go. All right, so that's all centered. All right, we're getting close now. We are making progress. Let's go to diff. All right, so it looks like ours isn't quite wide enough. So let's go to the circle. There's a border radius, or a, actually no, we don't want the circle. We want the wheel. It should have a border 30 pixels. Maybe we go to 35. Now is it too big? Maybe we want like 32. I mean, it looks pretty close. Wait, if I go like 35, if we made this like 45, okay, so that gets bigger. 35, it gets smaller. 30, it gets smaller, maybe like 28. Was it too big? No. I'm actually dumbfounded. What size is this? Why is it slightly off? I don't understand. It's definitely bigger. I think the width might be bigger. Maybe we go to 140 by 140. Oh, yeah, now we're chilling. Now we're talking. All right, but now these are off, so this should be 140. And all right, so now our horizontal bar is too high up. So top, instead of 50, let's just go, let's do 50% again, and then do transform, translate, y, negative 50%. Let's do that. All right, that's, I think, perfect. No, it's not. So ours is too low somehow. All right. You know what? Instead of this, let's just do an exact value and get it. So ours is too high, so let's go a little bit lower. Now ours is too low, 52. All right, that looks perfect. Now the vertical bar is too tall. So let's just go here and go maybe 90, 80, 90, and then go top, maybe 25. There we go. All right, now it looks basically perfect. We need this gap at the top. So let's do that. Should be easy enough. This needs to actually be on top of the wheel. So let's just go up here, and I'll just call this our gap. And let's say the gap is going to be width. Looks like it's about the same width as these guys. So maybe 30 pixels. 30 pixels. Height shouldn't matter too much. Let's just say 100 pixels. And then background is going to be the lighter color. All right, now we need to move it horizontally into the center. So let's say position, absolute, left 50%, and top 50%. All right, I can't even see where this is. For a moment, actually, let's just make this red just so we can actually see it. All right, so this needs to be on top. So let's say we want this to have a Z index of 1,000. All right, so now it's on top, and then we need to move it back over to the middle. So transform, translate X negative 50%. 100%. All right, now top. I don't know why I put this as 50%. We don't need it that high, 50 pixels. Not even 20. Perfect. And now let's make it this color again. So instead of red, we have that color. Awesome. And that looks basically the same. The only major difference I see is there's these like here it is like rounded and mine is an exact edge. Honestly, I'm not even sure how to do that. I could put a circle there, but how do I round that edge? Yeah, honestly, I'm not even 100% sure. So let's just submit this and see how close we are. Let's go submit. All right, so we got 99.9%. I'll take it because we didn't have this little portion with the rounded edges, but honestly, I'm not really sure how to do that, but that's a challenge for you all. And if you want to watch me do this again, I actually did this back when I was writing a lot of CSS and I did it blindfolded. So you can watch that video over here.